Today's video is going to be on Elon Musk versus Donald Trump, and what's going on, what's going on geopolitically, how when evil fights evil, the good can benefit. What are the goods that are benefiting from this? Um, the fact that it's breaking down this quote unquote white solidarity and great white conquest and all that. The Joan Rivers and we're the great white gods of the world and all this other bullshit. When they're really just our children, our bastard children who just need that right discipline, who haven't been corrected by the gods and goddesses, which is us, black men and black women. But we're gonna go into. I'm going a little off topic. I'm going a little next level. Let's bring it back down, and then we may go down, descend further, and then we may elevate up later. So we're gonna start neutral. So Elon versus Trump. What's really going on? Well, reports showed during the campaign that they were concerned with Elon Musk because of his drug use and other things and antics during the campaign, but they kept it quiet that Trump that he could mess up Trump's getting elected last year. That was reports that were coming out prior, and it came out again recently. So that was number one. Number two is the Doge thing has destroyed Trump's poll numbers and made Trump look horrible, and all of that. So a megalomaniac, he wants that ego stroke. So what is he gonna do? He's gonna scapegoat. He's gonna put the blame on somebody, and the blame is on Elon, Trump too, because these are both austerity goals, and you know people who hate people who need things, quote unquote, or the who have a Malthusian mindset when it comes to the masses of the people. Doesn't think of people as wealth, as prosperity, as gods within their own right, something to nurture and invest in, and they use them and see them as cattle or um, disposable pieces of trash that they can just ball up and throw away at their convenience when they're done using it up. So this is the mindset. So now let's go a little bit further. What's going on right now? Well, what's going on is number one, Elon, for all the nonsense bullshit talk that the Republicans do about working hard and welfare and hard work and all of the hot garbage and hoopla that they speak on. The truth is they need um, the system. They need the welfare state. The welfare state is what maintains everything. They need this constant. They need handouts. Remember, Brett Favre getting exposed isn't the only welfare scheme that's been going on. These are Republicans, by the way. These are Southern conservatives who pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They've been stealing and skimming and robbing since forever. Hell, the inception of this nation is through robbing, killing, stealing, murdering, and lying. And they just continued it in a new, more quote unquote sophisticated form. Even though it's not that sophisticated, they just get to absolve themselves of the crime and call it good business, or call it too big to fail, or call it whatever game of semantics and spin doctrine they play at, so they can continue robbing and stealing. So Elon got all these handouts. Hell, he damn near he basically had a monopoly when it comes to the electric vehicles and getting subsidized for it. All that was done bipartisanly, by the way, under Republican and Democratic administrations. That's not an accident. And Elon got his rise through welfare and subsidies handed out by the government. He didn't build that on his own and work hard and all that crap that everybody loves to tell us and lie about and make excuses for and use it to justify why they're in a position and why black people are not. But once again, I'm going to the handout. Same thing with Trump. Trump's family comes from pimping and brothel houses, degeneracy and criminality, and being slumlords and shit like that, and being racist, anti-black assholes. And then Trump gets a handout, $1 million from his father to start off, and then gets continuously bailed out 5 different times, maybe 5 to 7, because it depends. Bailed out by the banking cartels multiple times. He's allowed to purchase Mar-a-Lago, which is the president's vacation home. You don't get that unless you're clicked in. That isn't working hard. That's called being part of a clique, being part of a cartel. And that's what's been going on. This is both of them. So these are Nepo silver spoon babies. Remember, Trump is a draft dodger and a flip flopper, quote unquote, and a op. Elon the same. These are, and they're not even, they're the so called pilgrim wasp whites. Trump is a family. He's an immigrant. Hell, he married an immigrant. Elon's family. Elon is an immigrant. You know what I'm saying? So these are foreigners coming in. And remember, Trump as well was historically, for decades, part of the Democratic Party machine for a while. That's why you see stuff with them, all the money he gave to the Clintons and partying with Jeffrey Epstein and them. Of course, we know Epstein was bipartisanly around mega politicians and banking elites and royal families and just the entire ruling class. But we're getting to Elon. We're going to get to Jeffrey Epstein. We're painting the picture at this moment so everybody can understand what's been going on, who they're electing, who they're watching on the TV screen with Elon and Trump. So, and then you have a situation too. You got to also factor in the planetary era that we're in, under the age of Aquarius, and all the planets aligning and this and that, and the age of clearing out of 2025, when the final completion year, the 9 year. So all of that's happening, and then us, the black people, are pushing on a grassroots level. The truthers on the right wing side pushing, quote unquote. But all of this is a factor. So Trump, of course, initially won the first election in 2016 for a number of reasons. Number one, he won really because of Obama's arrogance. This, if we want to be honest with you, Obama refusing to do anything in the midst of the Black Genocide campaign, refusing to do anything in the face of the Great Depression of the 21st century, which they like to Machiavellianly and 1984 Orwellianly call the Great Recession. It was a depression, and it never has ended because there's never been no real true recovery. All that's happened is the banking cartels were able to get bailed out and quantitative easing, which means Federal Reserve money pumped in, and then they used it to create more derivatives bubbles, used it to do more credit default swaps, Bitcoin, all these new ways of making cheap cash while making the rest of the economy, the true economy, shrink and suffocate. So we've truly not had a real recovery. On top of that, the regulations that should have been put in place, like the taxing of derivatives, the enactment of Glass-Steagall, enforcement of that, bringing in the FDR regulations that helped to stop the last Great Depression, which were rolled back bipartisanly under administrations starting in, I think, the 70s, but especially under the Reagan era, with the deregulations of savings and loans, deregulation of the telecommunications company in the 70s. These were things that had already the deindustrialization of the United States in the 50s, 60s, into the 70s, bipartisanly once again. These have played a factor into why we're here now, why everything is the way it is and all of that. When you don't know history, you don't know what's going on. And so then somebody could tell you what's going on. And that's where we're at right now. You got you got a lot of people who just got who really first off, there's a lot of people who are just here in the world, no matter what their age is. They're just here. They don't know what the fuck is going on. Then you got a lot of people who just truly got here. They're young. They don't know. And then you got a lot of people who um, know a little bit, but they know a little bit about the wrong things, so they're misinformed. And then on top of that, you have massive brainwashing and psyops that have been going on throughout the past 50 to 60 years. So you combine all of that, you get into a state where we are at right now, where people don't know what the hell is going on. They don't know why everything is the way it is. They don't, and they're just confused, and they're in this Hobbesian mindset right now where it's all versus all. All by design, by the way. All by design. All by design. Those who have been playing a very sophisticated psyop and psychological warfare have engineered it to be exactly the way it is right now, a controlled, chaotic atmosphere. Have there been pushbacks? Sure, there have. Have people spoken truths to power at different points? Yeah, but it hasn't been consistently consolidated and pushed through as a counter narrative completely. There's bits and pieces fragmented throughout the society on different scopes and in different echo chambers, and it's not coagulated and combined correctly so that people know exactly what it is. And so we get to the point right now. So why am I saying all this? I'm saying it all because this ties into Trump and Elon. So these guys got to power, Trump 2016, because of Obama. Without Obama, Trump, there is no Trump in power at all. I want everybody to be very clear about that. Obama, and to be honest, without Obama, there is no Elon Musk in power either. Remember, it was the Democrats who helped to finance and push Elon and give him all those contracts. The electric car, the go green era, you know what I'm saying, all of that nonsense, the footprint and all of that, the whole tech boom and all of that, all of the technocrats got their push under Obama. See, I know, I'm talking about Trump and Elon, but people truly do not know just how bad Obama really was. You know what I'm saying? And because of how racist and economically castrating the Republican Party is, and how much they hate the New Deal, they're able to absolve Obama of such his decadent crimes. Because this dude is a fucking criminal. And I'm gonna say that frankly. That is a fucking criminal, bruh. Just so much shit that he did. The Imperial Wars, the Color Revolutions, the bailing out of the banks when the people really needed it, the middle finger to the black foundational black Americans as they were getting slaughtered by cops, aka race soldiers, who didn't, you know what I'm saying, unmercifully calling blacks thugs when they tried to stand up for themselves, being against reparations. Uh, Hell, all of the immigrant class that we're dealing with, Ukrainians, Afghans, and Venezuelans who came over here, all of these conflicts got escalated and fomented and pushed through the roof under the Obama administration. Syrian war under the Obama administration. You see what I'm saying? There has been so much stuff done. I, if anybody wants to watch a video just on me breaking down the Obama administration, because everybody has a microwave memory, so they don't remember what happened, and we're in the Trump era now, so people are like, we hate you, Trump, and it's justified. He's a fucking retard, and he doesn't know up from down, and his fat ass, he's eating a Big Mac and some shit. but but Obama really needs to be broken down, like for real, because damn, this is a mulatto traitorous bastard. He's a betrayer of humanity. He's a betrayer of. He's not even FBA. So, but he's a betrayer of heavily pigmented melanin, or as Dr. Sabi would say, carbon, quote unquote. So back to what should I speak on? So back to Trump and back to Elon. So Trump administration, Trump just put everything in a hyperdrive. He just put a cherry on top of white supremacy. Basically, this is a white nation, and we're gonna be white power, down with the fucking niggers. He just put it in a hyperdrive. The gate was opened by Obama, and Trump just ran through that bitch, and goddamn did he run through it, boy. He's been running and running, and now it's taking on a life of its own. These crackers think they're gonna have a Jim Crow 2.0 in this shit. They over here trying to champion the Rahowa. Same thing with Elon doing Nazi salutes. But meanwhile, ADL don't say shit. Meanwhile, they see no evil. They act like what's happening? Who? Sorry, we're gonna have to further investigate. We don't know whether he was trying to say hi, and maybe he was trying to swear himself in as the Doge lad. Just picking up bullshit because they are in line with white supremacy, and they were scared. They saw the mass movement that Trump had. They saw that he had the technocrats on his side. But, you know what I'm saying? So they were falling in line, being cowards, which is what bullies are. The ADL and the Jews are cowards. They'll go after the lowest rung totem pole when it comes to black people speaking up and saying that they're the chosen people and they fulfill Bible prophecy and that they have been colonized and mistreated and abused and taken advantage of and economically castrated, and their music, movies, communities, bankings have been taken over and abused and mishandled and manipulated by, and their nonprofits and charities have been done in by people of a Jewish background. Not to say exclusively, of course not, because all white people are guilty of said things, knowingly or unknowingly, and most of them, all of them know what's going on. You can't talk to a white person them not in speech expose themselves to knowing exactly what's going on and doing nothing about it or practicing it in some form. So that's just what it is. So back to Elon and Trump. So we're gonna fast forward to 2024. So 2024, both candidates running for office were highly weak. Trump was weak. His Project 2025 was widely hated. It's a means of austerity and destruction of the New Deal and anti-black, anti-human. It's a bunch of nonsense. And then on the other side, Kamala was just the status quo. It was a means of anti-black flooding with others and all type of nonsense and just continue the genocide campaign under another form, man. Black genocide campaign under another form. So there was nobody to vote for. So Trump won by default, even though he was a weak candidate. Don't ever get that mistaken. He's a weak candidate. So Elon, Trump, they have their thing, and Doge starts cutting everything, and it's been widely hated. His poll numbers have dropped, as we knew they would, and now Elon didn't get the contract he wanted. He couldn't push against different departments that were investigating his company. He couldn't push against him when it comes to stuff that he thought he was going to carte blanche through. And so that all backfired. And so now, because Trump is getting railroaded, and now he's the buck stops with Trump, and now they're looking at him like, man, you suck, and his poll numbers are down. And because now they've been faction fighting, and remember, they were never truly friends, they just had mutual interests, and it just aligned, they decided to turn on each other. Elon got kicked out, and so once he got kicked out, he was mad, and so he exposed the truth that's always been going on, which is now I'm getting to the Jeffrey Epstein, guys. The Jeffrey Epstein case, that Trump is involved with Epstein. Yeah, of course. We know Trump's name is on that list. We know Bill Clinton's name is on the list. Biden has a history of pedophilia. Hillary's name is on the list. Bill and Melinda Gates' name is on the list. Peter Thiel, um, James Gunn, uh, Prince Andrew. Uh, Hell, we know about Jimmy Savile with the Royals. Now go look up that Jimmy Savile case. That's not this ain't so this ain't the first time the Royals thing got caught and exposed for pedophilia and allowing it at the highest levels. So just to kind of get y'all, go ahead. So Epstein, and remember the Catholic Church had got pedo rings. And remember, this cuts across all because this is the ruling class people. This is the ruling class, guys. So they are in charge of everything. They have their hands in everything. They're like Hydra, where their tentacles are in everything. So it cuts across music, movies, entertainment, business, banking, food industry, corporate structure, everything. Everything that do, sports. What else? Am I missing anything? Uh, Manufacturing. I don't know. Just everything, man. Water systems, just everything. Electric grid, everything. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody's involved. That's why in 2019, in the start of 2020, all the major CEOs of like Disney and the banking cartels and major hedge funds started resigning because they were about to. The actors Tom Hanks and them, they had to because they knew they were about to get exposed. They had to actually deal with trials that weren't on the news because the CNNs and the media cartels were also involved too with covering up, and their heads of CEOs were involved as well. This is what you're dealing with right now, and that's why they had to shut down the world. That's one of the reasons why the pandemic happened, guys. One of the reasons, one of many. So, this is what you're dealing with, bruh. And Trump's name is on the list, bruh. That's why he's not gonna um, expose the list because he's on it. Anybody who believed that it was always an idiot. That's why Trump knew he could win over the Republicans because he knew all he had to do was play the race card for y'all dumb crackers, for the whites. All he had to do was just let the whites know he down for the team. But remember, within white supremacy hierarchy, there's levels. So he's not in league with y'all. Remember, this is not new. Remember, there's something in Nazi history called the Night of the Long Knives. When Hitler was trying to consolidate power, and he was like, well, I don't need the rank and file no more. And he started slashing key heads that put him in power. Could not the same thing be happening right now? For all the rank and file people, are you not seeing that happening right now with him slashing government stuff that y'all benefit from? Handouts that you guys always used to claim the blacks got, the niggers got, but we knew all along you white folks always got. You guys get all the charity, all the handouts, all the welfare, and then try to point your finger at, oh, see, this nigger isn't working hard. That's what the Brett Favre thing was about. Brett Favre got exposed because he was stealing, along with other politicians. And notice nobody's going to jail for real. This ain't. It went away after a couple cycles. That would have been black athletes being involved in that. LeBron, they would have had that as a news story for about 3 decades. It would have been, oh my God, LeBron taking from the poor. He's a scumbag. That would have been. That's the level that Brett Favre was at one point. He was the LeBron of the football NFL. He was beloved. He was, oh my God, all-American quarterback. Oh my God, you would love for him to date your daughter. All that bullshit that they used to say. Man, he's as American as apple pie. Just all of it, man. We've seen it. We've seen this. But yeah, it goes away. They just, oh, what? What's happening? Stealing next. Did you see that nigger taking some watermelon out the store? Like, what? They deflect, spin, turn, flip, do whatever. Hey, did you see John Morant posting guns? Hey, look at what Zion's doing. Hold on, Shannon Sharp. Look, Shannon sleeping with a 19-year-old. I'm like, huh? What? Can we get back to Brett Favre? No, we can't. Oh, we can't. Oh, so y'all big on protecting the women. Okay, cool. So we're gonna get on Peyton Manning for raping his trainer when he was at Tennessee. We're gonna get on Bill Roethlisberger for raping two women. Oh, now y'all don't want to speak on that, or y'all want to go back to Brett Favre when he abused that reporter. No, y'all don't want to speak on that. Oh, why? Okay, y'all. Oh, and same thing too. Protect the kids, right? What's going on with the Epstein thing? Why y'all not circulating that same news like y'all did Michael Vick and the dog fighting, where it was 24/7, OJ 24/7? Why y'all not making colloquialisms about Trump and others who are involved in this pedo shit, these pedo rings? Come on, man. Come on, what we doing here, bruh? Come on, man. We already know what the deal is. And y'all right wingers, truthers, patriots, fake ass white, y'all fakers who are just white supremacists, anti-blacks. Y'all gonna go quiet in the night and y'all gonna pretend like y'all didn't hear Elon say Trump is on the Jeffrey Epstein list. That's what's gonna happen. Y'all gonna try to push the story away because all you guys want is white supremacy, and a lot of y'all are pedos yourselves. A lot of y'all have done incest shit amongst your own family. A lot of y'all have done dirt and decadence and crime in your own white, I can unlock my door while I go to work enclaves. But we seen Dateline, bruh. You watch Dateline, you watch any one of these things, or you just really pay attention to real reports that go on. Y'all be doing all type of dirt. You shit just not reported, and y'all got a good old boy system, and y'all don't even get charged for real. Hey, the police officer is your neighbor. Y'all have barbecues, so you're not finna. Hey man, just don't let me find out. Just like what happened with Jerry Sandusky at Penn State. Joe Paterno just been like, hey man, just don't do it here. I gotta take away your keys, buddy. What? After he was using that charity to rape those who are mentally ill and disadvantaged and feeble, quote unquote, and intellectually disabled for decades. What are we talking about here, man? And these are at prestigious colleges. Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State all had scandals that involved abuse, rape, and decadence. Hell, we can go to Urban Meyer, a dirtbag. He getting a whole nother opportunity. He's cool, doing all type of dirty shit. Come on, man. He had killers at his damn when he was at Florida, and you know this is who we dealing with, bruh. And all the stuff he was doing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is what happens, bruh. And now all this stuff is being exposed, and people been paying attention. I'm not one of these microwave people who just be like, whatever. Okay, what's the latest TikTok? What's the latest hashtag? What's the latest challenge? What's the latest nonsense to keep you distracted? Nah, we keeping it solid. We're looking right at what's going on right now. And we ain't turning at all. We just cataloging because the crimes are mounting and y'all deserve to be punished. So we tying this all back to Trump and Elon. That's this all of this ties back in. So back to Trump and Elon. Trump anti-working class, anti-poor, anti-middle class, anti-upper middle class. His policies are austerity. His policies only favor his base. As George Bush said, for the rest of the world, you're the elite. But to me, you're my base. Same thing with Trump. That's his base. His base is the wealth, the elites, and higher who got their money through robbing, stealing, killing, and most importantly, human trafficking and slavery. That's where their money come from, and pedophilia. That's why Trump ain't never gonna say nothing. Because he's involved, he's in league with these people. He uses his rank and file, I hate nigger, white supremacist trailer park trash to get him elected. But when he's done with him, he'll do the same thing that Hitler did with his rank and file. He got rid of him. He's doing it right now. These forms of austerity are not just targeting black folks or the underprivileged. They're targeting a lot of white people. A lot of white people benefit from government jobs and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, heck, as long as it hurts about 1 out of 4 of black people, they're okay with it. Like I said before, they'll go kamikaze on themselves just to see us fall down. So that's how out of their mind they are, for real. So and also too, what this faction fight does is it started exposing that Trump bill, which is massive austerity, Medicare cuts, cuts to Social Security, cuts to food stamps, cuts to government assistance, cutting government jobs. All of this anti-black, anti-working class, anti-middle class uh, situations and uh, bills and deeds that are being done. Because this is another thing that this is an attack on is the FDR New Deal. They hate. They have class warfare as well too. They hate the New Deal. They hate the fact that FDR, as they call it, was a class traitor, and they want to do everything they can to make it so that people who the 99% just dies basically. They want it in a Malthusian uh, mass genocide situation. That's why you always hear Bill Gates be, well, we can reduce the population by about 4 billion. Well, the number one problem with the world is depopulation, even though we can have double the population right now if we just added food production and fed everybody all the reserves that we have and production that we could do. Hell, they pay farmers to not farm most times. That's facts. If we allow the farmers to farm and do stuff, we could feed so many people. If we use the land properly, we could house so many people. Problem is they don't. Their cave mindset and their Malthusian principles of depopulation at the top is what's stopping humanity right now. The ruling class is really the problem, and those who follow their doctrines, like Elon and Trump, and that's what the problem is. And so that's what's going on right now. But I'm glad this situation came out because evil is fighting evil. And when evil fights evil, the good can benefit. And we're benefiting because we're seeing the Epstein pedophile ring be put back in the surface after they tried to hide it for so long. And it's always just been hovering. People always, and I never stop talking about the Jeffrey Epstein pedophile rings and everybody who's involved, especially Bill Gates, who sits around and just basically trolls everybody. Like, hey, guess what? I'm buying all the farmland. Hey, guess what? I'm buying all the baby formula. I have artificial formula for you. And his wife over here with an upside down cross, basically being like, hey, we're part of the Satanist cult. Like, just modern day villains, like that you watch on Saturday morning cartoons, but are 10 times worse, and this is real life. Like, for real. So, but this is what we've been dealing with. So I'm glad this is going on. Now, what are the solutions right now? The solution right now is to start pushing for economic bill of rights, ending the Black Genocide campaign, countering all this anti-austerities, all these austerity measures, enforcing the social safety net, bringing back welfare, enhancing food stamps, enhancing Section 8 housing, enhancing Medicaid and Medicare, make Medicare for all, enhancing Social Security because they want to abolish that too, enhancing disability, making sure that the people who need stuff, as said by the United States Constitution, provide for the general welfare, get what they deserve. That's what's needed. End all these imperial wars. Speak truth to power on what's been going on since forever. All these lies that have been told. Tell the truth about all these assassinations and killings that have been going on. Like, that's what needs to happen. What else? What else, man? Reparations for foundational Black Americans. Ending the Black Genocide campaign. Arresting the ruling class, arresting these damn race soldiers, killing black people, and doing all manner of shit to black people, overtly and covertly. Having an economic bill of rights that FDR was gonna do before he got poisoned, quote unquote. And that's word to Joseph Stalin, who told his son that, FDR's son that. Y'all go ahead and look that up. What else? There's so much stuff. It could be so much. This world could be so better, much better than it is. Putting an emphasis on spiritual practices, healing, meditation, tapping into next level stuff, 3D, 4D, 5D, all the dimensions, tapping into your chakras, tapping into your earth angelness, healing, spiritual healing, frequencies, getting in touch with nature, just elevating on a whole new level, tapping into your ancestors, giving praise to your ancestors, praising the angels, everything, tapping into the universe, the ascended masters, giving them a shout out, everything, man. That's what we need emphasis on. Emphasis on therapy, getting everybody's mental health right. Emphasis on working out, exercising, so you can get that out. Emphasis on creativity. There's a lot of people who have great genius business ideas. They should be given automatic um, credit and lending so that their dreams can be funded and pushed. That's the era that we need to be in right now. Bringing forth natural medicines, holistic doctors to cure, make us as healthy as we need to be, as prosperous as we need to be, whole as we need to be. That's the era that we're stepping into, not this nonsense that we've been plagued in for way too long. And that's the solution right now. We're in the solution of transformation and ascension. It should have been going on for way longer. Been going on for way longer. Um, what else, man? Uh, Bringing back high wage, high skill economy. Um, and once we change shit domestically, you then take that show on the road and set the example for the world. Not with China being the new imperial power on the block, abusing people, or any other weak nation doing decadence. But it starts here, and that's the solution. And we need candidates to be pushed forward. We need people who are brave enough to speak and stand up and run and take over positions and be protected too. Not just one person be out there and he's solo. Nah, the whole community out there. Because if the whole community out there, you can't stand against them. They'll be able to peep out. Oh no, this a op. Oh no, yeah, he coming from the left side. You're not gonna be able to withstand that. And that's what we need right now. The whole rise of the community. No more one. It's all now. Where it's not just one ascending by itself. It's not just one by itself like this. It's the whole thing risen up to a heavenly level. And we're in the process of doing that on all levels and all vibes. And I'm proud of that. And for real. Emphasis on more positive music, movies, showing Black history, showing success, heroes being heroes, not this rehabilitation of villains. I've been seeing that too. More positive music, not the music of death. This death music, die, die, die. I shoot the baby on the street last week. All that dumb bullshit. Nah, nah, nah. Or having the women have to glorify being prostitutes and objects of um, uh, how can I say, just surface level shallowness. You know what I'm saying? A woman valuing herself, being a queen. I'm all cool. I'm not against you having fun and partying, but the culture of degeneracy needs to end on both sides, where it's self-destructive for the men and it's self-destructive for our women. We need a new lease on life, a high frequency music, Michael Jackson type energy, James Brown, Whitney Houston, Prince, that type of vibe. A positive hip hop, like Tupac's positive hip hop, Nas, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, KRS-One, Rakim, that type of energy. So, and we have to solidify and put ourselves in place with the universal force and be in alignment. Be on that high frequency vibe as the master teachers were on, as the Malcolms, the Martins. These were highly spiritual people. That's why they were able to challenge such an evil system relentlessly. And I am so proud to be in an era right now to where I can live and follow their footsteps, because like people always say, I stand on the the show oh my god, shoulders of giants right now. For real. And I got, it's easy to mention Martin Malcolm, but you can go back to the unsung people who don't get their just due, who I like to shout out. T. Thomas Fortune, William Monroe Trotter, even before that, Martin Delaney, Frederick Douglass, Delaney Walker, John the Horse. Those who fought, you know what I'm saying, who were true to the game, Khalid Muhammad, just the real ones who about it, man. Y'all got my highest honor. King Ramses, I cannot end. It's too many, man. It's too many. Tim Kamini. So I'm gonna end it off like this. Like, share, subscribe, and check me out on TikTok. Check me out on YouTube. All that. And I think my TikTok is Jonathan, JONATHAN .MARC4. So y'all check them out. The videos are way shorter. So if y'all want the highlight reel videos, that's on TikTok. But if you want that long, in-depth video, y'all come here. Thank you.